What if I told you the world's most iconic company just lost more money in 4 months than most nations make in an entire year? Apple, yes, the company that gave us the iPhone, the iPod, the Mac, has seen $1.1 trillion vanish into thin air. Why? Because Tim Cook made the exact move Steve Jobs swore was poison. Warren Buffett praised it. Steve Jobs warned against it. And now, Apple is paying the price. This is the story of how Apple's greed finally backfired. For years, Apple reigned supreme. From 2021 to 2023, it was the world's most valuable company. But today, it has slipped all the way down to third place, behind Microsoft and Nvidia. In just 4 months, Apple's value dropped 28%. That's $1.1 trillion erased. And believe it or not, the seeds of this collapse were planted back in 2011, when Steve Jobs handed the keys to Tim Cook. When Jobs stepped down, he told Cook something simple. Don't ask, what would Steve do? Just do what's right. For Jobs, doing what's right meant focusing on world-class products, not stock price games. Back in 2010, Apple sat on $27 billion in cash. Warren Buffett gave Jobs 3 options: acquisitions, dividends, or stock buybacks. Jobs rejected dividends and buybacks outright, calling them a distraction from Apple's true mission. But Cook, within 6 months as CEO, he flipped the script. He approved Apple's first dividend program and its first massive share repurchase plan, starting with $45 billion, later ballooning to $80 billion. And that's when Buffett, who had always avoided tech, finally bought Apple stock. Not because Apple was making better products, but because Apple was turning into a finance company. Under Jobs, Apple was obsessed with design. He visited the design studio almost every single day. Under Cook, maybe once a month. Jonathan Ive, the genius behind the iPhone, the iMac, the iPod, lost his authority when he pitched a $25 million fashion-first launch for the Apple Watch. Finance execs said, too wasteful. For the first time, design was overruled by accountants. I've started working from home, showing up late, and eventually left Apple. And the results? iPhones became predictable. The 6, 6S, 7, and 8, 2014 to 2017, looked almost identical. The creative spark was gone. Jobs kept the iPhone at $650 for 7 years straight. Cook broke that rule. In 2017, the iPhone X launched at $1,000, a 30% leap overnight. And the prices kept climbing. By 2023, the priciest iPhone was $1,200. Even the so-called budget models went up 40%. The average iPhone price? 2016, $657. 2024, $974. Apple wasn't innovating. It was charging more for the same. Here's where things truly spiraled. Apple led early with Siri in 2011. But by 2017, Siri's accuracy was 62%, while Google Assistant hit 90%. When ChatGPT exploded in 2022, Apple was years behind. Their AI team begged for 50,000 GPUs to catch up, a $10 billion investment. Cook approved. Finance blocked it. That same year, Apple spent $77 billion on stock buybacks. The message was clear: shareholders first, innovation later. Meanwhile, Amazon poured $85 billion into R&D. Google spent $45 billion. Meta invested $39 billion. All of them are now ahead of Apple in AI. In 2024 alone, Apple spent $110 billion on stock buybacks. That's more than some nations' GDP. Jobs warned that this obsession with shareholders would gut innovation. And he was right. While Apple burns cash propping up its stock, its competitors are building the future. And what do we have to show for it? Siri, still broken. Yes, Tim Cook grew Apple's market cap tenfold. But what cost? Apple was once a company that redefined industries. Music, phones, computers. Today, it can't even compete in the AI arms race. Steve Jobs believed, Focus on great products, and the stock will follow. Tim Cook flipped it. Focus on the stock, and the product will follow. Now, Apple's $1.1 trillion collapse proves the truth. Put shareholders above products, and you'll eventually lose both.